Welcome back to more Sam's Garage, presented by NHOU. Sam is back with Kevin and Travis to install the new exhaust headers on the Jeep. The new headers will pair nicely with the upgraded exhaust system. They use Stage 8 fasteners and locking tabs to make sure there'll be no exhaust leaks in the future.
All right, so this week we're going to be adding some horsepower to Kevin's Jeep, and look at that. Looks like we're going to add some looks too. Those are pretty.
Yeah, we finally get to use these Stage 8 hardware they sent when we were doing the axles.
Very nice stuff, and I won't install them without Stage 8, especially when using those gaskets. You know why? Because those only require 20 foot-pounds.
Yes, they do.
And if you put 20 foot-pounds on a regular hardware, they're going to come loose. It's going to be a bad day. These are not easy to install. I'm going to use Stage 8 hardware with Remflex gaskets, and this guy should have no problems.
At all.
Well, he'll have other problems, but not with this. So this is a newer age of ceramic coating or jet hot coating.
Yeah, I don't know that it has the same benefits as ceramic coating, but it is literally a ceramic.
I love the color, and the color matches the accents on the Jeep itself.
Yes, it does.
Very cool. So, if these were stainless steel headers,
Yes.
and you got fingerprints on them, and the first heat cycle would burn those fingerprints into them, and you cannot wipe them off, it's over, you have to have them Cerakoted, ceramic or jet hot coated to look like this again.
Really?
Yes. All right, so incredibly, Travis, Kevin, and I got those manifolds out in record time. Seriously, it was like 30, 45 minutes. And you really need some special tools, or you gotta be able to get inside there and just tackle the job, and that's what we did. So before we put the new headers on, of course, we're gonna be using Stage 8 hardware, and the reason we are is because these guys give you peace of mind by making sure that they never loosen on you. It's especially useful to use these whenever you're using Remflex gaskets, because these guys only require 20 foot-pounds, so therefore these will loosen on you, and instead of having to go back and retighten them, just use Stage 8 bolts. But if you guys are not gonna use Remflex gaskets, do not use the gaskets that come in the box. These are absolute junk. Reuse the factory metal gasket. There's nothing wrong with it, so that way you know you got peace of mind. So the Remflex gaskets, these work awesome because they withstand a lot of heat, and they're really good for any time you have a non-flat surface. Now what we're gonna do is install the headers. This is where the hard part is, because the runners usually get in the way of you being able to put the hardware in, but we're gonna knock it out, and we're gonna have Travis do most of the work. You guys got notches. This allows for you to be able to put the four hardware in the bottom, put the Remflex gaskets in, and then squeeze your manifold in between the hardware and the gasket, making it easy for it to hang, and then you get in the rest of the hardware.
So we got the exhaust back in on the Jeep, and if you don't have a custom-made exhaust, you're probably gonna be fighting slip, fit, expanded tubing. The exhaust was previously installed on this Jeep, and a quick tip for you is instead of fighting it, go buy, it's an inexpensive tubing expander. Just make sure you grease it, lube it, make sure the threads have enough lubrication so they don't bind, because it is a lot of work for this thing, but it makes short work of expanding the tubing back from old clamps and U-bolts that people may have tightened too tight and shrunk the tube down. And once you've got all that, you can secure it and then clean the pipes before you start the vehicle. You should be good to go.
I gotta say, I'm very impressed because that was a record time when it comes to installing headers on a V8 Jeep. In the book, it calls for 6 hours to remove the exhaust manifolds and put them back on. And headers are a little bit harder. That's why you guys wanna make sure to use proper gaskets and use Stage 8 locking fasteners, because if you don't, you're gonna be doing 6-hour jobs every 2 or 3 months.
I think it might have had a little something to do with the people helping you.
Yeah, they totally made it much easier. When we have 3 and 2 hours, when you add it up, it's like 6 more.
The hardware that we used for Stage 8 is incredible. We had to grind a couple tabs. That's not their fault. These are 2-inch primaries. A little overkill, but they didn't know that, right? And so just a little trim, no big deal.
No big deal at all. It works perfect.
Yeah.
I'm very proud of you because you did the driver's one by yourself.
Oh,
you got in there with both arms, no extensions needed, just
Oh, no.
manhandled it.
No, you gave me the right tools for the job.
That's what we're here to do, teamwork.